One of the pivotal moments in tobacco control in Canada is 2012 Quebec Class action lawsuits against a number of tobacco companies. Let's go take a look at what happened and what some of the implications are.
In 1998, two class actions were filed in Quebec when representing people who were suffering from lung cancer, larynx cancer, throat cancer, and emphysema. And the second one dealt with people who were addicted to cigarettes. And so the two class actions were filed in 1998, and the trial started March 12, 2012, and finishes last December, and it's under reserve now by the judge.
I think it is a very significant trial, and in fact, it has already produced much benefit for public health. During the trial, 42,000 documents were produced as pieces of evidence. These are all now public documents and have been made available on a public website operated by the plaintiff's lawyers. So anybody can look at these documents, and they tell a fascinating tale. The amount of tobacco industry wrongdoing where they've been working in their own private interest and against public interest is now displayed for all to see.
I had the pleasurable task of sitting in the trial and writing a report at the end of every day. My report was posted on a blog, as well as my colleagues', which is written in French. Our work was supported by the Quebec government, which did it in order to allow people in Canada and elsewhere to know what was going on in the trial and to get a daily report on the activities of the tobacco companies, their statements before the judge. In public health, we know what the tobacco companies did, but we don't necessarily know how that translates into a trial. So this was a way of actually bridging the gap and providing a readable report.
In general, the situation around the world is the playing field for lawsuits like this is tilted in favor of the tobacco industry. And what has happened in Quebec is through a series of procedural changes, that playing field has gradually been leveled, and because of these procedural changes, the lawyers were able to stick with it through 16 years of pre-trial procedures and the trial itself.
The trial is seen as important in a number of ways, partly because it's the largest piece of civil litigation I think that's ever happened in the country, but also because it's the first, it's the precursor, if you like, of the suits that are lined up from the provincial governments. This is only the first of maybe 10 more large lawsuits that are lined up behind. So if this suit is successful, the other suits will certainly proceed, and we're in a position where we're likely to have a real game changer for how tobacco is managed in Canada.
Legislation was adopted by the province of Quebec to specifically allow for the use of epidemiological or statistical evidence and for filing aggregate claims. So it doesn't matter what one individual or another individual's state of health is, it's the population health that is being held to judgment.
Did this trial affect real people? Were real people behind the trial? Were real people's stories really what moved? Very much so. And we could tell that the judge also was very sensitive to the individual cases. When expert witnesses came and talked about the conditions of people suffering from throat cancer or lung cancer, you could see that generally affected the judge, even though he never had any individual claimant before him.